When you think of the company Game Freak, one thing usually comes to mind. Those adorable and extremely profitable Pocket Monsters Pokemon. Many people don't realize that Game Freak made quite a few games for a number of different systems before they, made enslaving animals and forcing them to fight for amusement, the favorite pastime of children all around the world. It's kind of screwed up when you take the time to stop and think about it. So fun though. One such game managed to combine a number of different genres into a surprisingly fun and unique action RPG. Hi there, this is Mega Blade J, and today I'm going to review Warriors, Legend of the Blue Dragon, the Two Heroes, for the SNES. Warriors was created by Game Freak and published by T&E Soft in 1997. This was one of the last games Game Freak made before they started pumping out Pokemon games for Nintendo. Our story begins with our hero on his 15th birthday. You are the son of the late legendary Blue Dragon, the leader of a band of warriors that serves one of this world's gods. While running an errand for his sister, our hero ends up rescuing a small monster. That monster turns out to be a human girl who was cursed and kidnapped by a giant bird. That same bird then destroys your house and kidnaps your sister. Armed with your father's sword and sassy monster girl by your side, you head off to rescue your sister and save the world from the dark forces that threaten it. The story is actually really good. I enjoy talking to NPCs and learning this world's backstory. Your monster companion is a real treat too. She speaks her mind and always has something to say about the current situation. Plus, she's just adorable as hell. One thing that makes this title unique is that it combines several different gameplay styles into a surprisingly fun game. When you enter a building or talk to an NPC, the game switches to a first-person view, very similar to that of a point-and-click adventure game. In these areas, you can move left or right, talk to NPCs, and explore around the room for items. When on the field, the game plays with a top-down view like The Legend of Zelda. Like Zelda, here you can explore the overworld, talk to NPCs, engage in combat, and even chop down bushes for money. One thing different from Zelda is that every time you move, so do the enemies. This is very similar to old-school dungeon crawlers such as the Sharon the Wanderer series and the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Every baddie has a different movement pattern. Some move randomly, some a path around the room, and others will make a beeline for you as soon as you're in view. Combat is started by either a baddie bumping into you, which starts you at a disadvantage, or you attacking them, which puts you in a better spot. When in battle, the game switches into a 2D view and plays more like a classic action game, sans being able to jump. Just like in the overworld, all the enemies move when you do, and this plays a major role in battle. At the beginning of each fight, a turn goal is displayed. If you manage to beat the goal, you will be rewarded with an item known as a Magatama. These are needed to reach the final dungeon and true ending, so it's a good idea to always try to beat the goal and collect as many as you can. If you take too long to finish a fight, a poisonous gas fills the battlefield, slowly draining your health. It might seem annoying at first, but it forces you to think about your actions and helps to speed up combat. While in a fight, you have a few options. You can scan nearby baddies to learn their strength and weaknesses, which comes very handy during boss fights. Your main weapons are a sword and a magic shield. Though your moves are limited at the start, through battle and exploration, you will level up and gain new skills and weapons. some of which include being able to attack above and below you, as well as upgrades to your shield. Ah yes, the shield. Hidden in dungeons are items called goddess tears. Collecting these is how you upgrade your shield. This is very important. I thought the shield was pretty useless at first, so, like an idiot, I ignored collecting most of the tears. Just a little tip for all of you. Do not ignore the shield. By collecting teardrops, your shield gains major upgrades. These include being able to shoot the shield across the entire screen, it passing through multiple enemies, or bobbing up and down to hit enemies that are slightly above or below your reach. A fully upgraded shield is just as strong as your sword, and once again, can be shot out across the entire freaking screen. Not upgrading the shield made the fights and being the turn limit so much harder. Once again, do not ignore your shield. As mentioned before, you can't jump. Instead, you need to rely on the help of your monster companion. I decided to name her Melia in my playthrough, so I will refer to her as that for the rest of this review. So instead of jumping, our hero can hold on to Melia and she will lift him up into the air. While airborne, you can attack, use your shield, or move over pits. Melia is small and can't support our hero for more than a few turns before going back to the ground. Floating can be done multiple times during a fall, and is important for maneuvering around the field, attacking hard-to-reach foes, and finding hidden treasures in dungeons. Besides floating, Melia can learn a number of useful techniques. Throughout the world, there are 4 magic hot springs she can bathe in that will grant her new abilities. These include a biting attack that can hold foes in place, scouting out the entire battlefield, healing you, and even being able to get items that are out of your reach. You need to be cautious with some of her powers though. For example, biting and healing will drain her health. If her health reaches 0, she will be temporarily knocked out, severely limiting your movement and attack options. Mastering both your and her abilities is key to beating the turn limit in battle. The graphics are very impressive for an SNES game. While in combat, sprites are big and well animated, the overworld has a variety of environments to explore, and character portraits during the first-person mode are expressive and very detailed. I thought the music was pretty okay. It didn't really have any tracks that stuck with me after I was done with the game, but it did get the job done. It was produced by, and once again, excuse my, I can't speak Japanese at all, Junichi Masuda, who would later go on to produce the music for many Pokemon games. The only real negative I can think of is that it does take a while to get used to how combat works. Enemies attack in a number of different ways. Until you get used to the controls and learn what each enemy does, they can be frustrating to deal with. It's also very difficult to avoid battles, at least when you get to a new area. Most paths are narrow, which makes avoiding enemies walking around the screen very difficult. Fortunately, once at a higher level, you can instantly kill baddies on the field, avoiding the fire entirely. Until then, you'll be fighting nearly every foe on the field, which also happen to respawn every time you leave the area. Also, as far as I'm aware, once you're in a fight, there is no way to escape until the enemies are dead, or you happen to have a magic item. This does slow down the game, and as a result, found myself trying my best to avoid fights on repeat trips to old areas. I admit, I didn't think much of the game going into it, but it really did surprise me. The movement and combat systems do take a while to get used to. But once you do, it's a lot of fun to try and take out the enemies with as few turns as possible. The storyline is pretty entertaining, and Melia is a wonderful traveling companion that I would love to have a plushie of. I've been out of the Pokemon loop for a while. Does anyone know? Have they made a Pokemon out of her yet? I'm just curious. The game was a lot of fun, and it took around 25 hours to reach the true ending. If you want a physical copy, you might be out of luck. It seems to be a pretty rare game, with copies on eBay going for around $400. It's a good game, but not that good. Regardless, if you're a fan of classic Zelda, or you're just curious about what games Game Freak made before Pokemon, just give it a try. Thanks for watching. This has been Mega Blade J, and I just want to take the time to say thank you all for supporting this small channel and helping it grow. We have now reached over 700 subscribers. Next goal is 800. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe for more Let's Plays and reviews. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next mission. Bye. I thought the shield was pretty useless at okay. Warriors was created by Game Freak and published by as important for was it cartoon Speed Buggy? Speed Buggy. I'm going insane, oh god. We have now reached over 700 subscribers. Subscribers. It's a B in there. Subscribers. Subscribers.